please remain standing for a moment of silence for our sick, handicapped military personnel and recently departed of our community. Thank you. Okay, yes. Oh, thank you. Just wanted to state that we had an executive session prior to this meeting. Guest, Mark Dozo.
My name is Mark Dozo, 1513 Missouri Avenue. I was here last month because I was concerned that a trust that owned Lot 5 on Missouri Avenue was granted the right to have a driveway into Upper St. Clair. And it's very disappointing that that still stands. So I have a quick handout tonight. And on page 1 of the handout, you have Duquesne Light talks about their transmission line. And they say that the management of the right-of-way is highly critical. At the bottom of the page is a lattice steel tire. And if you flip over to page 2, in the development that I live in, there is a lattice steel tire at the top of Missouri Avenue, which less than the height of the tire away is Lot 5 in the right-of-way. As you turn over to page 3, I think it's very important for council to realize electricity is a public service, and therefore it falls under the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission. This is the filing that Duquesne Light went through, and I just want to highlight a few things. They tell you that they send a notice to all of the property owners that are within the proposed right-of-way, and that in this case, Duquesne Light was replacing their steel lattice tires. The company had determined that the structures were approaching the end of their useful life. As you turn over to page 4, the entire project will be in the entire right-of-way, and that the commission, upon approval, it's a long-term project. When they have to replace the tire and then tear down the old tire and remove it, they're in the right-of-way for several years. If you turn over to page 5, I think it's important that, again, the existing right-of-way is in several residential developments. And then finally on page 6, if any property owner or municipality has a problem with the way Duquesne Light is using their right-of-way, they have to petition to intervene at the formal proceedings at the PUC. On page 7, I just wanted you to have documentation that People's Gas was up on Missouri Avenue, and they replaced about half the street, the main line, in 2017. So that leads us to page 8. And I wrote to Duquesne Light that via eminent domain they acquired a right-of-way through Bridgeville Borough, recorded May 3rd, 1954. The right-of-way includes Skyview Manor Plan 1, lots 4, 5, 6, and 7 on Missouri Avenue. Duquesne Light paid for the right-of-way privileges, which resulted in these lots being vacant. No homes, no trees, and little property value. Bridgeville Ordinance 1031 stops driving across these lots. A trust owning Lot 5 at Bridgeville's January 2025 public meeting was granted the ability to market Lot 5 as a driveway for access into an adjacent parcel in Upper St. Clair. Duquesne Light never gave up the right-of-way and recorded an easement on Lot 5 for a driveway. The driveway would be the only ingress-egress to a public street. Since there is no easement in the deed, no driveway on Lot 5, and no home on the adjacent parcel in Upper St. Clair, now Duquesne Light needs to be aware of this future right-of-way encroachment granted by Bridgeville at the January 2025 public meeting. Duquesne Light's right-of-way includes maintenance for high transmission lines and replacement of the galvanized lattice steel tires. The right-of-way is forever, with the authority to erect, construct, use, operate, maintain, repair, renew, replace, and finally remove the same, together with the further right to trim or remove trees, shrubbery, or obstructions, and to enter the said piece or parcel at any time. In 2024, for Duquesne Light transmission line maintenance, a tree contractor with a chipper machine and multiple trucks used the right-of-way and blocked Lot 5, making ingress-egress impossible. People's Natural Gas used the right-of-way on lots 5 and 6 for 1 month in 2017 as a staging area for equipment and materials while installing a new main line, making ingress-egress impossible. Obviously, Lot 5 has not been used as a driveway. Duquesne Light will need Lot 5 right-of-way when the nearby galvanized lattice steel tire, it's 71 years old, are at the end of their service life and must be removed and replaced with steel monopole transmission tires. Currently, Lattice steel tires span several residential developments in Bridgeville and Upper St. Clair with no driveways in the right-of-way. Removal and replacement work using Lot 5's right-of-way would strand the only access of a future home built on the adjacent Upper St. Clair parcel if a driveway is allowed. Bridgeville, because of allowing a driveway, would need to intervene at the Public Utility Commission's formal proceedings on Lattice steel tire replacements and require the PUC not allow Duquesne Light to use for the Lot 5 right-of-way privileges. If you flip over to page 9, I have a picture of what the Lattice steel tire is, and I would tell you, where I live, right behind Bridgeville, is Upper St. Clair. That's Rolling Meadows North. It was developed in the 1970s by Ryan Holmes. You can see a clear sight line where the transmission line goes through. There are no driveways in that sight line, in that right-of-way. If you go to the other end, where Missouri Avenue goes over into Bednar Farms, that's now the Bednar development. If you drive up Main Street, you will see the tire. And again, Upper St. Clair did not allow any driveways in the new development. So with that, I thank you for your time.
Anybody have any comments or anything?
Thank you. Can I just ask, just to clarify, what action, if you deemed it, what action would you like council to?
I think Lot 5 should be like all the other lots on Missouri Avenue that are vacant. I own Lot 9 that's vacant. We're all the other residents on that street own the lots. This is the only lot that is owned by a non-resident. Everyone else plans to abide by your ordinances. And I don't understand why Lot 5 was grandfathered to be able to have a drive.
If I may, and then I'm not going to give an advisory opinion on the ordinance that we enacted. We enacted an ordinance, I do believe, and I would respectfully disagree with your interpretation of what we did, either with that ordinance or what was stated on the public record. The only thing that was stated on the public record is that one has grandfathering, rights to use what the property as they had previously. There's no, as you said, I think we're on the same page here. There is no previous use on that parcel of that property. Can
So
the
then-
gentleman assert a right to ingress and egress through there under zoning, okay, in the manner which he had up until the date of the ordinance? Arguably, yes, and that will take any kind of claims on that when they come. We do not do anything that implicates rights, easement rights, vis-a-vis the Public Utility Commission. For example, even if what you said is true, he would run into that impediment. He has an extra impediment. There was nothing in what we did in the ordinance that creates a grandfathering right to use a parcel that's not actually this parcel, the parcel behind the parcel, for any use, other than what could be provably done to date, which was rudimentally access for grubbing and whatever, storage and the kind of things that were done to date. There was nothing, and I'm looking at the transcript page you're referring to. I can assure you that is not what the ordinance did, and that was not what the statement in the transcript reflects at page 33. I hope that'll give you some assurance. And I'm happy to talk to you anytime outside the meeting, too. I'm not going to make public statements or opinions about possible future challenges to our ordinance.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't seen the transcript. It was not attached to the minutes into January. And any conversations that you had with Acosta, his attorney, aren't public. So the only thing that's on there is the video. And in the video,
And the ordinance, and frankly, the transcript is not the ordinance. The ordinance is the ordinance. The ordinance actually effectuates, we believe, things that would restrict future use for the uses that you're concerned about.
Is this something the two of you could just
I'd be happy
have that
to, yes.
side conversation?
Yeah, I'd be happy to sit and talk with you, and so would Joe, I believe. I think
You
we
okay
talked-
with that, Mr. Doza?
Sure. Yeah.
Great. Pat?
Thank you. Our community is a wonderful place. It's very nice to see everyone, and I am very hopeful that as we look at trees and at the potential for trees, that we embrace the trees and not the bureaucracy. I love trees. I want to see more trees. I'll even help to plant trees. not so fond of government. It has its place. With that, I look forward to working with all of you to make Bridgeville even better.
Mandy Pryor.
Hi, everyone.
Please state your address.
990 Washington Pike. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Most of you know me. If you don't, I'm the Executive Director of Southwest Regional Chamber of Commerce. And I know I should have been here many times before tonight, but I have little ones running around. But I just wanted to bring up that we're doing something I think is pretty exciting within the Bridgeville Borough. We're going to be hosting an open house here at the Municipal Building, thanks to Joe giving his good graces behind it. And what we're really trying to do is have your businesses meet one another and hopefully forge new partnerships and bring new growth into the borough. And so I'm just here to tell you guys about it. If you know businesses, I believe, reached out to most of them, if not all of them, and still going to be following up until the date. And hopefully we get some new exciting things here at the borough. I know Joe's been working on that for a couple of years. So.
What's the date?
March 27th, and Joe was this year. There's flyers on the table that you can share. I also have little business cards, but they're a little smaller than I hoped. So.
What time?
6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And there'll be light snacks.
At the library?
Right
Oh,
here.
Sorry, wrong meeting.
Unless it gets really big, and then we'll have to the library.
So this is all local businesses here in
Only
Bridgeville?
Bridgeville Borough.
Okay.
So nobody outside, and I already had somebody sign up because they were in South Fayette, and I said, I know that the postal code is different, or the same, but this is for Bridgeville only. So we're starting it here, and then we'll be moving around to some of our other areas. So it's really, I think, good, and it was your call a couple of years ago in trying to foster this that kind of made it come together. That's all.
Any other events or anything coming soon at the chamber?
We have things like every day. We have so much coming up. Maybe you stop me off the top of my mind.
What's happening in May?
May Community Outlook. Thank you, Joe. And we're aiming at May 15th for Community Outlook for this year. And it's going to be a little different of a format this year, and maybe bringing in some different people in the beginning to open up. So it's going to be at the club at Nevillewood. And
So the panel is council people is what you're saying, not managers?
oh yeah, all of you. I'm going to have each council come up each.
Sorry, you're not kidding.
That's Joe, put that on your calendar. So I've tried to reserve that, and Brentwood Bank and Joe will be part of it. He'll be moderating for me. So
She would ask me.
I like to sit back so we can just watch.
Anything else, Ms. Pryor?
I think that's it for now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Rich?
Hi, my name's Rich Popolowski, 609 Elm Street. Not to sound like a broken record, but I'm here to talk about Chartiers Valley School District and School Board and what's going on again. The drivers still don't know what's going on. And they're kind of left in limbo. The latest on the agenda for the meeting tomorrow is they're going to be doing some kind of, they want to get permission to do some kind of assessment of route efficiency that's going to cost up to $14,000, so more money we're spending. I was at last week's board meeting, and from what I saw, it was something that we can't let go on, so I guess I'm asking Bridgeville, if it's possible, as a municipality, can we take a stand and do something, put letters out, or I don't know what the terminology would be. They are destroying the fabric of Chartiers Valley. I moved here because I could get my kids into Chartiers Valley, into Bridgeville. My daughter does not want to go to Chartiers Valley anymore, and part of it is from what happened at last week's board meeting. At the board meeting, they somehow decided that they now need private security instead of our own police officers. So there were 4 henchmen stationed at the doors. And there were lots of kids at this meeting that came. And I believe the teachers told kids to speak out about what was going on. And then there was an email sent out that the school board denied that said, basically saying the teachers would be in trouble if they said they were gonna do this. They denied this email existed. Then the email was shown. The email was shown to the audiovisual projector, the independent guy who works there. He stood up, he was threatened to be fired if he put it up on the board, and he was fired. This email does exist, I've seen it. When the board realized it did see this email, the solicitor and the assistant superintendent ran off stage with private security and tried to coerce this student into the hallway in front of me. Parents had to yell for him not to go with them. He had the email on his phone. My assumption is trying to delete this email. But they used private security that was never bid on. It's been all over social media. A lot of people know what's going on. There is something wrong what's going on with this board. They cut so many classes. My daughter was in a class called Biomed. Because of them furloughing teachers and the mismanagement of the money that is going on, that the appearance impropriety can only go so far. Then it's more than appearance. I mean, this is ridiculous. She's in a program you have to get 3 years in. She's a junior in all advanced classes, A+ in everything. She's only getting 2 years because they cut the program, so she wasted 2 years on this class while they're cutting a teacher who actually has to do that. They're also cutting the theater. I don't know, I went to the performance of Something Rotten. It was something you would pay real money to go see. It was so good. And I was there, superintendent, a few other people showed up and left halfway through. They're not even respectful enough to stay for the kids who worked so hard for that. And I don't know what to do anymore. I've come here, I've gone everywhere, I put signs up, I write emails, but I don't know if there's any way Bridgeville, as a municipality, can say, we want to do things in-house and we don't want you destroying our school, because this is definitely affecting property values. I am thinking of moving to get into another district, because I have a son who is in 5th grade, and I don't want this, what's going on right now. They are turning Chartiers Valley into the Woodland Hills of the South Hills. I don't know what to do. It's not just the jobs. They are destroying what Chartiers Valley School District is. And the election, somebody's up next year. In 2 years, CD's not going to be left. I mean, I just don't know what you guys can do. I would ask if you would let me, some of you have seen signs put up. May I put a sign in front of the borough building that says no subcontracting? You've seen them out there. I don't know if that's even in the realm for you to give. Could you make a resolution supporting keeping everything in-house, or a statement of no faith in the school board? I just don't know what else to do.
I'm going to speak just myself personally. Obviously, I share some of the feelings that you have, that I'm struggling with those things as well. However, I don't think the borough is able to act upon or do something with the school district. But as individuals, to be honest, the groups of people are what's going to matter, and it sounds like that's already starting to form and trying to get people out. I really don't think the borough can do anything with the school district or do something, but individuals can.
Well, if any individual, or if they're, like I said, I didn't know which way the borough could put a resolution, we support no subcontracting. I don't want my kids riding on a subcontracting bus. I do not want subcontracting security dealing with my kids. We need our police officers, and we need school-employed security. So if any individual would like to do that, and any chance I can put a sign on borough property that says no subcontract.
I don't think you can do
Okay,
that.
well, I at least have asked.
Oh, absolutely. And there's no problem. Does anybody else have any comments, or?
I feel bad.
Yeah.
I would appreciate it. Tomorrow's meeting is actually at Parkway Tech. Parkway Tech, a lot of kids that live, union jobs come out of that. They do this once in a while, so, because Chartiers Valley is the biggest, we have more students in Parkway Tech than any other district that goes to Chartiers Valley. And I find it funny that one of the board members who was on the board of Parkway, supporting unions, has also consistently voted against the union teachers and the union drivers. So I thank you for your time, and if there's anything you can do, I really appreciate it. I'm going to keep coming because this actually matters, I think. And I really believe this is turning us into a third-rate school system where people aren't going to want to move into this district. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, that's it. We move to the business at hand. Meeting call to order.
Gallarducci.
Here.
Mrs. Maroli.
Here.
Mr. Ferry.
Here.
Mr. Franchek.
Here.
Mr. Henderson.
Here.
Mr. Sarasnik.
Here.
Mayor Copeland.
Here.
Solicitor McDermott.
Here.
Engineer Highland.
Here, kind of.
Sergeant James is absent. Assistant Chief Sickworth.
Here.
And Chief Moore.
Here.
Thank you. All right, motion to approve the February 10th, 2025 regular meeting minutes as submitted.
So moved.
Bruce and Justine, are there any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. A motion to approve the March 2025 bill list.
So moved. Second.
Bruce and Jason, any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. A motion to approve the March 14th, 21st, 28th, April 4th, 11th, 2025 payrolls.
Make the motion.
Justine? Bruce, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion to authorize the advertisement and public display of ordinance number 1033, an ordinance of the Borough of Bridgeville, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, amending the Bridgeville Code of Ordinances, Chapter 1, Administration and Government, Part 3, Board and Commissions, to add Article D, establishing the Bridgeville Borough Shade Tree Commission. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Bruce?
Second.
Justine, any questions?
You answered mine earlier, Joe, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion to approve and grant a borough earned income tax credit for the year 2024 in accordance with Chapter 24 of the Bridgeville Code of Ordinances, Part 1, Section 3, tax credits for volunteer firefighters of the Bridgeville VFD for the eligible and active members as recommended by the fire chief.
So moved.
Second.
Bill and Shane, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion to authorize the execution of the annual lease agreement between the Borough of Bridgeville and the Bridgeville Athletic Association for the use of the Chartiers Park concession stand and equipment room.
I'll make that motion.
Shane
Second.
and Jason, any questions? No, no conflict. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion to authorize the disbursement of $488,000 from the Capital Project Fund to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania for the municipal contribution towards the completed Chartiers Street widening and new South End Washington Avenue Bridge project as outlined in resolution number 2018-06.
So moved.
Bruce
Second.
and Jason. Any questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give the overall general rundown of what the 488 is.
That's the municipal contribution to the project.
Yeah.
When that project was put together.
2018.
That's, I mean, this is just like a history lesson, that's all.
Originally, the borough was going to be doing Chartier Street, and then it morphed into the South End Bridge. The borough secured a grant, a gaming grant, to do the work on Chartier Street to keep costs down. Perfect storm happened, and both projects got morphed into one, and PennDOT took over the whole construction oversight, bidding, design. We just became a financial contributor towards the project. There was an agreement put together back then between us, South Fayette, and PennDOT. We put in $788,000. We paid the $300,000, which was the GEDF grant. I think 2 years ago we paid that. The grant was about to expire and there wasn't going to be any more extensions issued. So I asked for an invoice for $300,000 and I got that invoice so we didn't have to lose grant money. That was paid. So then this has been sitting for 2 years waiting for it to come, and it came in the mail and there we go.
I got a text.
We have, as you can see, there's a contract, the borough is obligated to do it, this is our share.
So I'm guessing you hope that was better time.
Yeah, so if you remember every budget season, I put this in the budget and it came.
get a text or a frowning face.
So,
Any other questions?
so this will close this then?
We're done.
And we're done. Now, does this have to do anything with when we had Anita Kulik up on Chartier Street?
Nothing.
Because I was gonna ask later about that.
This was way before she even had anything to do with
I
Southern
said-
Bridge.
Again, just walking down and hearing those cars in the last meeting with that guy, I'll bring that up separate. The tolerance level of those patches they did. Up on Chartier Street. That's what triggered me at first. I didn't know if this was all tied in.
Chartiers
You're
are
thinking
back.
Bank, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree
Confusing.
with that.
No, I walked it tonight. I can ask that later. But no, the widening was something I had a question on too, so thank you for the history lesson. I'll get that other one later.
Okay, any more questions on number 7?
No, thanks, Joe.
Yep. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion to concur and authorize the granting of a right-of-way acquisition of 1,700 square feet in the front of McLaughlin Run Park for the existing guardrail and to permit a temporary construction easement of 3,200 square feet of the parkland adjacent to McLaughlin Run Road, Bridge number 2, to PennDOT for the planned project to replace the bridge in 2027. Going back to 27.
Yes, this was supposed to be a 2025 project, now it's 2027.
Note, this is a revised easement limits from a prior authorization granted in 2023. I guess I should have read that first. Can I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion.
Shane and Jason, any questions?
So now that they've changed, they've moved the goalposts on this, Joe, what changes with us? Anything with this motion?
No.
Not really.
You see the map, it's
Yeah.
really, everything's outside the fence that you're gonna permanently give away.
Yeah.
And, we want them to have the maintenance of that guardrail, it's when a car goes into it, they buy it, so actually a good thing for the borough, I expect.
That's what I was
to see what part did infringe on my property.
Yeah, they got closer, design, pretty much being completion, and that's how.
That was wondering.
Yeah, I try to study that map upside down, left and right, and figure it out, so.
It's the Gallarducci Bridge, right?
Two Gallarducci.
Two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
No, thanks.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion to accept and pay any commission due February 2025 real estate tax collector report.
So moved. Second.
Bruce and Jason, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion to acknowledge receipt of the February 2025 treasurer's report.
So moved.
Bruce and Justine, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion to accept all submitted February 2025 official reports.
So moved.
Bill and Jason, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So the committee reports, Bruce, do you have any?
I don't have anything, sir.
Okay. For finance, the only thing I have is the 2024 audit is underway with Mark Turley, correct?
Yes.
And we've actually have some funds that we're investing a little bit to get a little bit, squeeze a little bit more out of our banking interest with a few CDs. So excited to be able to do that, to take advantage of where rates are now. So that's all the finance report. Anything else? Okay, Parks and Rec, Shane.
Spring season's upon us, parks are opening up, kids are already down at the Chartiers and Cook right now. Chartiers, we walked it this past weekend, I know we're looking at doing some stuff coming up, stuff Justine and Jason and I have been talking about. If you haven't signed your kid up yet, anyone that has kids maybe in first grade, second grade at the primary school, we're looking for a couple of 8U softball players. Joe, just throwing it out there. You know, Mandy, you mentioned you got a couple kids, you know.
What ages?
We'll take your kids at whatever age.
I'm
find
trying
a
to
way.
push the little one. We're trying. Love a little baseball player.
There we go. You know, they can play up to 8U, 10U, 12U, whatever you want.
28.
Yeah, 28. Church league. So, no, the parks are looking great as always. Mr. Coward did mention, or mention in your public works, Jay, I don't want to steal any more of your stuff, but I did see the new piece of equipment down there. Looked really nice. I checked for the keys and they're not in there. No, just a list of things Justine and Jason and I talked about. Once this weather breaks, we'd like to bring it up and try to get that inaugural pickleball game between Justine and Joe and the mayor. No, looks great. I appreciate everything, and I don't say enough about McLaughlin, but it is a hidden gem too. The community up in Romano and Missouri, the kids can walk down that switchback trail there. It's really nice. So can't say enough about what the public works do the parks. So.
Any questions for Shane? Public Works, Jason.
Just a couple of quick things. Well, if anyone has driven past about the Burrs, a new excavator is actually being used right now.
Yes.
So, it's something that we needed bad, and it's with good use already. The crew performed winter maintenance on the roads and boroughs, trying to finish up the winters. I think we're getting about out of the woods now. They'll start their weekly spring street sweeping in April and May. April 7th. And the crew's been working on the building with new LED lighting in the garage, lighting things up. And just get ready to do some park maintenance and system Bridgeville Public Art and sculpture removal and pack construction for the new 25-26 park. That's about it.
Any questions for Jason? Public Safety, Bill.
Two things. First, I'd like to make a motion to authorize civil service to initiate the process to test for a new officer with waiving the application fee as part of that.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And the last, but certainly not least, I'd like to acknowledge the passing of Officer Pete Caparelli, 30-year member of the police department. I had the good fortune of working with Pete for a number of years, and he will be sorely missed.
Thanks, Bill. Any questions for Public Safety?
I had one. Walking down here, right on the corner, you know where Jimmy Wisdom lives, you know where the Wisdom House, right by Kogo's, or where it's Omar. That curb is starting to pop up. I don't know if you've seen it. Pat, you've probably seen it. Justine, I know you've probably seen it. Someone's gonna catch a tire. Is that something our Public Works would fix, or where's the line of?
So here's the background on that.
Okay.
So, it's a state road, but the curbs are the borough's responsibility. PennDOT is scheduled to repave Dewey Avenue in a couple of months. Built into their budget was a couple areas of curb replacement. So when they did their pre-construction meeting, I pointed out that section of curb that needs replaced. And I didn't want to fix it, because if I fix it, you're gonna have a Band-Aid forever. If it stays bad,
Okay.
it should be taken care of, because it's been pointed out to them within their paving work.
I figured you had a plan in place. I just tripped on it.
That's what's going on.
I was texting.
But it's bad. But like, if you really want to get the solicitor, it's the curb is technically the property owner's responsibility, not the borough's. But PennDOT on State Road is going to say it's not theirs either. But when they do paving work, they'll come in and do spot repairs, and that's been identified.
That question's actually, so you would answer.
I would also like to say that Councilman Franchek has admitted he walked down here several times tonight, and he wore this high-vis shirt.
It's the Lenten season. Got to lose 3 pounds.
The keys weren't in the receiver, that's why you
That's what it was.
I hate to ask if there's any more public safety questions, but I guess I will. Char West Cog, Jason.
I'll just mention a couple of things. The COG wanted to mention to the members that dues will be going out soon. I don't know, Joe, if you got an answer, but if you haven't, you can get dues for them soon. Also for Assistant Fire Chief, the COG is going to be combining with Shea COG in an effort to put together a series of things for fire chiefs. Their first of these is going to be held May 4th and 5th. They're looking to combine and bring in national speakers. So I don't know if you typically get information, but if you don't, let me know, and I'll be glad to make sure that you get that information. But it's something our members, so I don't believe it's going to cost us anything. And they're looking to bring the best of the best and to tell you what the latest research is on any aspect of fire safety you can imagine.
Okay.
So it sounds very, 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 something to do. Pat Catino, who's the president of the county council, attended the meeting as well. He's always very informative, and if any of you guys are interested in what's going on in the county council, he's got a great website. He also keeps his Facebook updated, and it's very informative. But he did want us to pass on to residents that the tax bills for the county went out late. So all the county members are going to get an additional month to get the 2% discount because of the thing going on. He also did kind of editorialize that he's getting a lot of complaints on the tax hike, but he said they're going to do the best they can to try to keep taxes down.
I have a comment about that. I tried to print my tax receipt, and I don't think it's my computer or my printer, because it's working with other stuff, but the body of the tax receipt, all I get is the emblems. I get the emblem and the seal down at the bottom. I don't get the body of the receipt. So I called them and told them. She's like, I have the IT people look at it. I'm like, all right. But she printed me one and sent it to me in the mail. So like, I just wanted to throw that out there since you brought it up.
When you put it in, did you put your email in? Because
No.
that's how I got my receipt.
No, I went to the web, like how the directions read on the paper. I mean, I've done that before, but like I went in there, hit my printer, and I actually downloaded it. I did a different way too, just to see if it came up different. But then somebody else told me, I used Google Chrome, and somebody else told me they used Edge, and it printed on Edge, but I tried it on Edge, and it didn't print mine either. So I don't think that it's me, because like I said, other things print with no problem, but she said she was gonna have the IT people look at it, so
I
if
will pass
anybody's
that on.
interested. I did not.
Anything else, Jason?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Any questions for Jason? Mayor Betty?
Officer Johnson and I were at the funeral home this afternoon to extend our sympathy and prayers to the family of our late officer, our Sergeant Pete Caparelli and his family. Officer Johnson was going to stay there until Sergeant James came at 3 o'clock. Sergeant James had stayed throughout the evening to be with the family, and tomorrow he will escort the family to the cemetery. That plant was also sent from the borough to the family. Thank you.
Any questions for the mayor? Police Department, Sergeant James is not here. Solicitor McDermott,
I have nothing to add to my written.
any questions for the solicitor? Borough Engineer, substitute Larry Lennon.
Thank you. So a couple items from John's report for tonight on the road program. They're working on the advertisement the week of March 3rd. And then under the Gregg Avenue stairs, we have requested a schedule update from the contractors. We're still waiting to hear back for that project. So
When they supposed to start? In the last one.
Yeah, but kind of weather, yeah. It's actually probably a good day to do this. Winter was
Sub-zero.
awful. This was a pleasant.
Thank you.
Any questions for our engineer? Assistant Fire Chief.
Thank you. The fire department responded to 30 calls in the month of February, bringing our total up to 89 calls for the year so far. Sunday, April 6th is the craft show at the fire department. We have over 70 vendors and a couple food trucks will be there. And we still have tickets available for the cash bash on May 3rd for the fire department.
Excited to see the cash patch back. Thank you, Bob.
Do you know offhand what time that our craft show is?
The craft show starts at 11. It's 11 to 4.
Thank you.
EMS, Dan Miller.
EMS report's been submitted, unless there's questions, I've got nothing to add.
Okay. Historical Society.
Hi, I'm Lisa Shady. The History Center is going really well. Our memberships are coming in really nicely, both the corporate sponsors and our individuals. We did send out a mass mailing for lapsed memberships. It's anyone that was left 2023 and put it there. And we are really getting a good response, so I've been really happy about that. Our programs start again the 4th or the last Tuesday of the month at 7:30 over at the Chartiers room. And if you're interested in any of the programs and you can't get to them, we do have them on YouTube now and with the approval of the speakers. So if you want to rerun one, or if you haven't seen the topics, they're very interesting, and it is. It's really nice to see. We're having our board meeting in the middle of the month, so I'm sure I'll have more to report next month for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions? Erin, Bridgeville Library.
So you have my written report, just a few things to add. We are having a Spirit Day at Panera on Saturday the 22nd from 8 to 8. 20% of all proceeds from the day will be donated back to the library. We have, there's a flyer, it's on the library's event calendar. You can just pull it up and show the cashier. You can always also order online. There's a code, and it's on the event calendar, and we'll be promoting it more closer to the date as well. Also on the 22nd, we'll be hosting a beekeeper at 11 a.m. He'll come and talk about the importance of honeybees to our local ecosystem. And then on Monday, the 24th at 6, we're going to host local author Maria Palmer. She'll talk about her book On the Rocks. It's about Joseph Costanza Jr., who owned a restaurant and how he rose to success in the 90s and then ended up in prison in the 2000s. So, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Erin. Any questions for the library? Parking Authority, Deb.
Thanks. Our meeting will be next Monday on St. Patrick's Day. We'll all be wearing green. 7 o'clock here at the Borough Building. The remaining 2 lights that are needed in Lot 1 will be installed shortly. They're new LED lights, so all of our parking lots should be bright and shiny. We've also had a tentative schedule created in regards to 2025 lot maintenance and landscaping as part of our budget, our fiscal budget. The lot asphalt patching will be monitored and completed when allowable and necessary. We're also moving 1 handicap space from the back of Lot 2 to the front entrance where we remove the damaged curb. Also, three 5-minute park pickup spots will be put in place in the front area of Lot 2 to accommodate the restaurant's takeout business customers. The spaces will be strictly enforced with a significant fine amount that is yet to be determined. We're having additional discussions at our March meeting. At our February meeting, we reorganized. I was elected chairperson again. Ed Polino was elected vice chair, and Mike Neely was elected secretary treasurer. Both Gino and I have been working with Bridgeville Day on the Avenue Committee, Planning Committee, and the BBPA continues to operate in the black. But before I sit down, I'd like to wish our mayor a happy birthday this Friday. I know she'll hate me for it, but happy birthday. Really?
Any questions for Deb? Oh, no, I think the mayor's trying to compete with me for birthdays. All right, Planning Commission.
We did have a meeting last February. First part of the meeting, we had Brandy Rosselli from Mackin Engineering came, and we worked on the boundary map for the Main Street zoning. One of the things we talked about was like where we kind of finalized the meeting 2 months ago. We were kind of outlined, finalized the actual map. We talked about businesses, types of businesses we want to kind of focus on for the zoning. I know there's some talk about, what are we trying to do here? The main thing is we're trying to put zoning rules in place so the businesses that are going to be in our Main Street are the types of businesses we all want to see. If you remember a few years back, we had 7 or 8 Suboxone clinics in town. We're trying to avoid situations like where anybody can put a clinic like that, or any type of businesses that might be undesirable. We are going to be having a business focus meeting, so we're inviting all the businesses in Bridgeville to come. and discuss their thoughts, their concerns about any type of zoning ordinances that we will be proposing to council. That meeting will be April 10th at the library from 5 to 7. Thank you, Aaron, for agreeing to allow us to have that meeting. It is obviously going to be open to all the businesses in Bridgeville. So if you want to make a note at your meeting, if you're going to have big people there at her meeting, please, I don't know if we can make an advertisement or let them know.
Can we piggyback something? Just a postcard or something?
Yes, the Brandy's aware of the meetings with the chamber on the 27th. The planning commission meets that Monday, that's Thursday. So we'll have that all finalized so that going to that meeting will not be.
Perfect, absolutely. We talked about the Shade Tree Commission. Thank you very much for pushing that forward. And again, to reiterate on the Shade Tree Commission, we are trying to keep this as bare bones as possible, just so we have something in place, so whenever Joe goes to a tree Pittsburgh and we have a planting, they say, do you have a Shade Tree Commission? And he can say, yes, we do. That's what we're not trying to have some sort of organization that says you can't do this and you can't do that, and it's something very simple. Then we had a couple other things we tabled a lot. There was a lot of conversation about the zoning, but we talked about the south end. We're starting to talk about the south end streetscape, and we're going to talk to the engineer about giving some bullet points on what we kind of want to see. So it kind of mimics what we have on Main Street, continue on the south end, and then obviously we'll end up doing to the north end. Am I missing anything? Next meeting is March 24th at 6 p.m.
Thank you, Mr. Tomer. Any questions for Mike?
Earth Day coming up too, right?
What's that?
Earth Day was talked about, touched on, last
Yeah,
week.
we
I
talked,
forget the date you said, but.
Yeah, Earth Day 26, starting at 10 a.m. Clean up. Yeah, I have that here. I don't like the Earth, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Earth Day 20. Yeah, Saturday the 26th is to be our community cleanup. So.
The reason why the planning commission is starting at 6 is because we are talking for about an hour on the zoning.
Yeah.
So, and it is open to the public.
Right.
So anybody can join.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
You're welcome.
Borough Manager Joe Carr.
In addition to the written report, we were informed by PennDOT today that we'll be starting work on the Bank Street bump outs on March 24th, so 2 weeks from today. That includes the ADA ramps that's part of their paving project, but we dovetailed in the actual transportation project for the bump outs at grade and.
I saw them on my walk down tonight.
Very proud. Bill brought it up.
He waits until daylight savings time.
That and I are walking home together.
You want to rock this in the door?
No, I miss. Good.
All right, any new business?
I just wanted to say a quick thank you to, I know Fire Chief Ray Costain's not here, but he and the fire department always helps out the nonprofits between the BAA and we have the softball communities called the CVC, Chartiers Valley Communities. So we had a meeting there yesterday and Ray called me Saturday night about 8 o'clock. He goes, Shane, we double booked. I'm like, well, what's that mean? He goes, do you mind having the meeting in the fire truck garage? I'm like, yeah, no problem. Well, there were no chairs. They oversold the charity yesterday, which was great. I mean, it was overpopulated it was bigger than anything Joe's ever put on. But no, he went to Presto Fire Department. He got 95 chairs for us. I mean, he did a great job. Jim Altvader was there, and also Jeff Lakes. So I appreciate what you guys did. And Jeff mentioned you guys have a floor scrubber that's not working or needs service. So I got in touch with someone, let Jeff know that I got in touch with someone with HK Equipment. They'll be down to pick it up this week. And we'll try to get that thing working.
Okay, perfect.
So the next time we have a softball meeting in your garage, it's clean. No, but thank you guys. It is awesome that the community pulls together and Jeff was there working on some electrical wiring on one of your trucks, and, you know, and those guys were quick to help, so, thank you.
Is there any chance you're coming to the trivia night in a couple weeks?
Are the questions gonna be fair this year?
I'm gonna tell you now that you're already having a minus 50 points.
I'm already starting in the hole.
All right. Any other new business?
One other thing I see in our package, we have the Bridgeville 125th anniversary celebration logo contest. So, what do you know about that, Pat?
I know that
This is
Bridgeville is going to be
public art,
125 years old next July. The United States is going to be 250 years old next July. And a group of people have come together under the auspices of the Bridgeville Community Association. And the community is looking to have a logo.
Right.
There are a number of committees. I think Shane is heading up the Ecumenical Committee. There is an evening get-together at the fire department. I can't remember exactly the date, but this is all in 2026. So it's in the preliminary stages. The logo contest, I believe, is due April
By
15th.
April 15th.
Yes.
So,
And Amanda McDermott is leading that effort.
correct. So,
I was just gonna interject that I know she's has the schools involved in that, but also any local residents who wants to submit a logo.
a logo, right,
Yeah.
right. And there are specifics, you have to do it like in JPEG or something like that. So if anybody has any questions that's out there, they can just get in touch with me.
I have one question, Pat. Are you coordinating with the borough in regards to this when it gets closer, or it was the first time I heard about it when I saw the
Yeah,
logo?
this is all very early stages, very preliminary. You know, it's
That's fine.
Yes.
Joe Carr didn't know anything about it. I would have thought the borough manager would have known about
Again,
the celebration that's
Again,
gonna be
this is
planned.
all very early. We're talking
absolutely.
about 2026, and Joe knows about it now.
Well, now he does.
And now council knows about the logo contest, which is the only action, is the logo contest. Some other actions that have been taken are specific dates for a celebration at the fire department, right? So that where everyone is aware that that is happening. And everyone, I believe, Justine, when's the next, does anyone know when the next meeting is? It's at the Legion, I believe. I think it's the 25th. Yeah, 7 PM at the American Legion, upstairs.
Does anybody have anything else?
Joe, I know, I'll plan to attend on that, so I'll take notes if you want me to pass it on to anybody.
That'd be good.
Including everybody here.
Thank you.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I have a second.